Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that will get right on your ticks.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I am Sam Nifty Delaney. So what?
Welcome along to what we both feel could be one of the most momentous chapters in this podcast's short history.
Yeah.
It is the beginning of something that could become... This could become as wide-ranging as the Melchester Odyssey. I think we could be looking at possible 4 years minimum with this. It is the Pig Odyssey. Welcome along. It begins here. There's no brief. The brief is simply pigs.
Pigs.
And we will examine pigs from all angles, all perspectives, all viewpoints. There'll be no deplatforming here. When it comes to pigs, we're prepared to listen to all...
speech.
Freedom of pig speech.
And also, I think
for.
we should, we've had a few messages about pigs, and I think
Not
we will.
enough for my liking.
But we will consider. We will consider contributions. Not all of them.
If they're good,
they'd have to be good, and that's always our thing. It has to be good. If you've got an anecdote about an encounter with a pig, it can't be long and boring. It's got to be exceptional. Something exceptional has happened between you and a pig.
I wonder how many people, Sam, consider sending stuff in and then kind of wonder if it's good or not and then don't do it because they think it's not good enough.
I hope a lot. I hope a lot of people go through that process.
I hope a lot have got that self-awareness. If that's you, if that description meets your criteria, get in touch on Twitter and just simply tweet us and say, I wondered if it was good. That's all you need to put. We don't want to know what you're going to send us or why you didn't send it.
If you have to wonder, then you're probably safe in assuming it's not good enough. Because if you know you've got a fucking golden story, if you think something's happened between me and a pig once that I've never heard happening between someone else, and it doesn't even have to always be extreme. It doesn't have to be like, I know what you're all thinking, you fucked a pig. I don't want to hear that, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that extreme. Maybe you just bonded with a pig and shared a special moment. And if you're able to convey that story to us in a nice way, then feel free to do so. Obviously, the star contributor for this Odyssey so far is our old friend Lewis Clare, the diversified farmer, who, as we mentioned,
our official diversified farmer,
who has a number of pigs that he owns. Not to boast, but he does. It's just as simple as that. We knew he owned pigs right from the get-go. He's got in touch to lend a little bit more clarity. Now, I'm looking for his... I really am looking for an email he sent us, I think yesterday, with some pretty good pig facts. Did you see that?
I can't find anything from Lewis. The last thing I've got from Lewis was about earwax.
Earwax.
Oh, he's been sending on various... He sends fucking various email addresses.
Yeah.
No, I've got nothing in the emails other than...
Let me see if it came on
March.
Twitter. There was a list of facts that was sent to us. I'm pretty sure I didn't dream it, although it's perfectly possible. It's on Twitter. It's on Twitter. Okay, now the most important thing, Andy, is this. Before we get onto the facts, right? I will tell you that he has said that he knows we're coming to Manchester. Is it next week we're going to Manchester or the week after? I can't remember.
Yeah, next week.
Next week.
Yeah, next week.
So we're going to be in Manchester next
Wednesday.
week. Come and see us do our show at wherever it is, Frog and Bucket, innit? Going to be a good night.
Frog and Bucket.
Yeah.
Pig and Bucket will be better.
Yeah. So he knows we're up there, and his farm is 10 miles from the city centre. He said, we do 25 school trips a year. So if you fancy a Top Flight Time Machine school trip
Right.
round an organic pig farm, it is possible.
Yeah.
Some fun facts. They have corkscrew-shaped penises. I knew that. The boys piss in spirals. I didn't know that, but I suppose it makes sense.
Can you provide footage of that?
No,
Is that...
I have seen a pig's cock once, though. I think I looked it up for some other creative endeavour I was engaged in.
just accidentally.
No, it was definitely... I think I've told you this before, when I worked at Comedy Central and my job was to sort of effectively come up with things that were funny, but also things that were basically clickbait. I announced one morning to the team that they need to... I think I'd heard about this spiral penis. Oh, no, probably a penis I talk about in the animal world a lot is the cat's penis, which is said to have little hooks that come out.
Yes.
And the reason they make such horrendous noises while they're making love is that little hooks come out, a bit like the way that in James Bond's car, sometimes like knives come out of the hubcaps, don't they, to cut the other car?
Yeah. Or on Grease, where they have that race.
Yeah, Grease Lightning. So
Creator Face's car's got the stuff that comes out,
Yeah. Sometimes I call my cat's Willy Grease Lightning. No, I don't. I don't have any name for my cat's Willy. That would be insane. Oh, remind me that I do have a great Willy story.
You've only just recently
got the cat. It's way too soon. Yeah, way too soon to be naming its knob. I had a great Willy story last night. I might save it for Friday, but we'll see. So the cat has
I'll add
spikes
it to the list. We've got 2 things already for Friday
that come out of its willy.
Sorry.
And when we were younger, my brother Dom used to say, he was the first to tell me, you know why cats make that noise when they're having sex? It's because the male cat has hooks coming out of its willy that hook on to the inside of the girl's vagina. And that's why she's like making that noise. It's really horrible. And I said, ugh. I was a bit too young for him to tell me this. So I was like shaken up by it. And he went, yeah. So you know when you hear a cat in the night going, rah, and I go, yeah. And he goes, what it's actually saying, if you translated, was, wow, spiky cock feels good. Because I said, oh, poor cat. I felt bad because we had female cats. And I was like, oh, I don't like the idea of it hurting. He went, no, it doesn't hurt them. They might like it. They're going, wow, spiky cock feels good. And that's a phrase that weirdly still comes up between us once in a while, just because it was so memorable. So I was at Comedy Central. I said, listen, cats have got spiky cocks. We all know that, right? Find out 10 other unusual animal cocks for me, and we'll publish that today. And there was various
publish that today, and our work will be done.
And then we'll all go to the pub. And and that was, I think, when I first saw that. I said, Google it, and fucking bring me, and don't come back to me unless you've got genuinely interesting, unusual animal penises.
It's probably already been on BuzzFeed. Just fucking nick it off that.
Go on Reddit. Do reddit.com/unusual animal cocks. There'll be a fucking thread as long as your arm. As long as a donkey's cock.
It really was that simple back then.
And it goes, he said, someone said, here, boss. Turns out pigs have got curly cocks. I checked out the picture. It was legit. So it's out there for people to look at. Maybe I'll put it on IFS Turbo. If you're not paying for Turbo, that's our top level subscription, then you're simply not going to get any curated pictures of pig cocks. And that's your decision. You can upgrade. You get loads of extra stuff, including that. Right.
It's your decision, Daniel.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Lewis Clare has also said some fun facts. He's just given us a little amuse-bouche. He said, here's some facts to get you started. They have corkscrew-shaped penises. They're born with teeth. Andy.
Whoa,
how creepy is that?
Hell.
That's creepy, isn't it?
Innit, yeah.
Imagine if one of your kids had come out with teeth.
It's as creepy as the skeleton of a baby when you see it, and all the teeth are down inside the jaw.
Or waiting to grow out.
But they're there. Yeah.
Have you? Can we find out
Look it up.
if a baby has ever been born with a full set of gnashers? Must have been,
Don't
right?
know.
Somewhere.
Don't know.
Probably in
Don't
China.
know.
Things always, you go, oh, in China there was a baby that was born that was 5'8" with a full set of teeth and a beard. And it's just a
It went
picture of
straight to
a
school
mum
on day one.
looking startled, holding this fucking kid that looks like the fucking Yorkshire Ripper. Right. What else has he said? They produce very little milk. The piglets eat solids from about a week old.
God,
I'm
get
sick
in
of
there.
this. I'm fucking sick of all
Yeah.
this milk. Have you got a fucking sandwich or something like that?
Give
Something
me
I
some
can get my
potato
teeth
peelings.
into.
These teeth I was born with.
Something I can fucking chew on, like a fucking pepperami, for example. I don't care if it's made out of other pigs. I couldn't give a shit. I'll eat it anyway. Yeah, so a school trip to this pig farm is something that appeals to me, Andy, if we have time, which we probably won't, but it's quite appealing, isn't it?
So, I mean, what we're doing, we're going from Manchester to Liverpool, which isn't far.
So the day after the gig, it's obviously it's half an hour or something, isn't it, from Manchester to
It's
Liverpool?
not far. And I mean, I don't know where his diversified farm is. Do you
Which
know where
direction it is? Wasn't it called Red
just
Barn
put-
Farm? Or no, that was
Just
a
put
TV
Lewis
show.
Clare Farm into the Red House Farm.
That's
No,
it.
that worked.
Yeah.
It came up on LinkedIn.
Red House Farm. Plot it. Let's plot it on our Google map.
Oh, the website appears to be inactive now. I think it's closed down to the public. It just does school trips
Yeah,
now.
it's not really diversified anymore. They just went into pure what I call pure farming.
Altrincham. Permanently closed, it says on Google.
To the public, but not to us. We're VIPs.
I mean, that's kind of in between the Manchester and the Liverpool gig, I reckon. I mean, you're looking at Liverpool. It's 48 minutes in the car. It's in a straight line from Red House Farm. Feels doable. It feels doable.
Yeah, well, I feel that would be a good use of our time, actually. I have been to a pig farm
We'll have a look
before.
at the weather forecast. Let's just say that.
I
was going to say before we get into the meat, if you like,
Yeah.
of the Pig Odyssey. I was going to say, if you had a personal encounter with a pig, a favourite personal encounter with a pig, or pigs.
I've had a couple. One was I went to the farm of this geezer Jimmy, who's mates with Jamie Oliver.
Jimmy's Farm.
I went to Jimmy's Farm.
His full name is Jimmy's Farm.
Jimmy's
isn't it?
Farm. Sir Jimmy's Farm.
Careful.
So Jimmy's Farm. And when it first started, I went for the Guardian. They said, right, we need you to go out to Suffolk to a fucking pig farm. I was like, yeah, but it's not as good as when you send me to New York to interview pop stars. Can't you do that instead? And they go, no, you've had your foreign trips. Now you've got to go to a pig farm and just spend the day fucking pigging about. And that's what I did.
Credit crunch, mate. Budgets have been slashed.
Yeah, no more fucking expenses for you, Delaney.
Get to the
All you do
fucking
is
farm.
go and get fucking pissed, lose your micro cassette, and then have to fucking remember what the fucking pop star said to you based on something you wrote on the back of a fucking boarding pass. We don't need to go down that fucking route again. So I went to this pig farm, and it was a lovely sunny day. And I've got to say, Sir Jimmy's Farm was a nice guy, and his missus was lovely as well. And he had a mate who'd gone out there with him as well. He'd convinced his mate, because they'd been living in London, and then he thought, fuck this, I'm going to start a pig farm. And he's gone to his mate wasn't really doing much. He was flat sharing in a tiny sort of flat in London or something. He's gone to his mate. His mate, well, what are you doing that for? What am I supposed to do? I've got to find a new flat, mate. And Sir Jimmy's Farm said to him, well, why don't you fucking come with me and work on the farm? You could do with a bit of fucking hard work. So he's gone, oh, yeah, all right, actually, I will. And it was quite inspirational because they all basically looked at a picture of health. They'd they'd lived a sort of toxic, polluted, constantly hungover, stressed out city life, and they'd exchanged it for this gorgeous life on a farm. And, obviously I saw it on a sunny day and they were spinning it all positively to me. I'm sure it's fucking hell working on a farm in the winter months especially. But I got in, they gave me some wellies. I got in to the pigsty and started feeding these fucking pigs. And I'll be honest with you, Andy, I actually shat myself because they're fucking busy, especially when you come out with food. And they go into a sort of a piggy feeding frenzy.
And they're strong, aren't they?
When you're up close to them, they're loud, they're strong. And I don't think they're vicious, but they appear as if they could turn. Do you know what I mean?
They've got a low centre of gravity as well, like Eden Hazard.
Like Maradona.
Yeah.
They got a big fat ass like Kenny Dalglish as well, so they can hold off defenders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was intimidated by them, as I would be if I was ever called upon to feed Kenny Dalglish.
I mentioned Eden Hazard there. Eden Hazard, of course, is Belgian.
Yeah.
And also Luca Brissell, who recently won the World Snooker Championship, also Belgian. They both have huge arses.
It's a big arse
like
country,
almost like a
isn't it?
shelf arse that you could just rest something on. Is that a national trait? I don't know.
Well,
I wouldn't want to say it is.
What are the three things the Belgians are famous for, right? Chips, waffles, and chocolate. Now, if that's not a diet that's going to give you a big arse, I don't know what isn't. Or what is.
Yeah, it stacks up, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does.
You're right.
Fair play to the Belgians, though. I really
already.
feel like they're thriving as a nation right now. Do you know what I mean? With the snooker. And
they were good on Eurovision at the weekend as well.
Right,
yeah.
and of course Tintin, a lot on my mind, because since I took the lad over to Belgium earlier this year and I took him to the Cartoon Museum, he's finally, thank fuck, got bang into fucking Tintin. He's in and out the library like a maniac, fucking getting the next one. I need the next one. I need fucking Lord Ratman's treasure. I need fucking the Picarus. Tintin in the fucking Picarus. Get it for me now. Because they get addictive. You finish one, you just need the next. So Belgium is on my mind. And it's Oh, hang on a minute, mate. I just need to pause because the DHL geezer's at the door. I'll be one sec.
That's fine.
Jalapeño.
Sorry, mate. It was just DHL. They were collecting something.
It's all right. They're collecting, not delivering.
Not delivering,
That's a
they're
shame.
collecting, yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were feeding these pigs then at Sir Jimmy Jim's farm.
I became scared. But if you're a city boy, then being close to any of these animals, I even got scared by a sheep once. I don't mind admitting it, because it feels so weird to be up close to a fucking an inscrutable creature, and sheep are fucking inscrutable.
Yeah.
When you're just not used to it. Do you know what I mean? You're like, oh, it could do anything.
Yeah, of course.
But I didn't.
I mean, your daughter's scared of turkeys, isn't she? That's probably the same sort of thing.
Scared of turkeys. I mean, the same thing. Like my kids, my animals. They're like animals, aren't they? They're like pets, kids.
They're kind. We're all animals deep down.
Yeah. True. Good point, mate. And we do well to remember that sometimes.
You've only got to look at Lineker to look at the connection point between animals on hind legs and forelegs and
well, he's got the idea.
Upright.
Why do you think he's been so successful? Because he stays humble.
Yeah,
he remembers his roots
between the two, doesn't he?
He remembers his roots and his ancestry, which were animals, and he stayed true to that. Whereas the rest of us are swanning about like our whole lives we've had shoes and televisions. It's not true. In the grand scheme of things, mate, we are just about a split second away from the point at which we were crawling around in shit on our hind legs with tails, just like pigs.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and the clock of time.
In the clock of time. Yeah, that's just a split second away. And as quickly as we've evolved, we could devolve as well. So that's worth remembering too, isn't it? Just
like that, yeah.
Have you ever used the line, we're just all animals, really, as a chat-up line?
No, but it's worth considering, isn't it? It's not an opening line. It's not an opening line, is it?
We're all animals, and we all have animal urges, and trying to resist those urges is inauthentic to yourself and to your species.
Now, what are the chances of me getting in the back of my car right now?
For an animal wank-off.
An animal experience. We'll go and park somewhere up, like near an abandoned pub, maybe. where no one will find us.
Nice and quiet. And just
All
give in,
animal
to
style.
our animal selves.
I don't see animals wearing clothes, do you? Kind of thing.
No, because animals
No, it's
quite
not an opening
rightly
line.
see
It's not
that
an
as a
opening line.
bourgeois affectation, which it
Yeah.
is.
Especially shoes. You wouldn't believe how much horses hate having to wear shoes.
Because they're like,
that are
this
put
is
on by
unnatural.
blacksmiths.
This is, you're trying to make me like you, like a human, but you don't understand. That's not natural to me. My hooves are supposed to feel the ground beneath them, raw.
Not clip clop everywhere.
Clip clop like a
I
fucking
hate
noisy
it.
cunt. Pigs
Anyway.
have trotters, don't they? We've got months to go on this deep dive, so I'm sure
I was going to say
we'll get round
my
to
own
doing
personal
trotters.
favourite.
Yeah.
My own favourite personal pig experience was at a visitor farm nearby here. I mean, that's something I was going to say. When you're saying you don't have interaction with animals as a city boy, do you not even have visitor farms anywhere? You probably don't.
Not
do
in
you?
There's one that I know of in the city that I went to a couple of times when my kids were little, which is right in like sort of Holborn way. That was deep.
Wow, that's a mad place to have a
Yeah,
visitor
that
farm.
was decent. I don't know if it's still there, but the rest of them, no. You do have to get in the car and go out to the fringes of Surrey or whatever. Yeah.
To the countryside. Well, we've got one called Down at the Farm, and it opened. I've just looked it opened in 2007, which is when my daughter was 3. So that was just absolute peak age for visiting a visitor farm. And we went on the opening day, the fucking day that it opened, the morning it opened. We were one of the first people through the fucking door because we were so excited about this. And we went and first of all, before we get to the pigs, we went into the rabbit enclosure, and there was a few rabbits in there, a few guinea pigs, that kind of thing. And the girl who was running the farm asked us if we wanted to name one of the rabbits because they were so new. They didn't have names. The place had just opened. And the rabbit had a kind of a silver colour to its fur. And my daughter said we should call it Sylvia.
Lovely.
So Sylvia the rabbit was named thus. That was a lovely experience. But later on, you used to be able to go to the pig enclosure and you used to be able to wash the pigs, Sam.
Wash a pig? That's a wonderful experience.
A pig.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What do you used to wash it with?
You get in there. They give you a bucket of water, a little bit of water in the bottom of a bucket. They give you one of those kitchen sponge things, with the spongy side and the rough side on the top. And you dip your sponge in the water and you just give the pig a little wash on its back or on its side.
Right.
And my God, I think about
Does
it
it
often,
love
Sam.
it?
I don't think I've ever been happier.
The washing
the
moment you were
they
washing a
love
pig.
it.
I'd do anything to wash a pig.
I don't think I've ever been happier.
Lewis Clare, if you're listening, may I wash one of your pigs if we come for our school trip to your farm?
Or all of them. We'll wash all of them. All 50.
I'd like one of those. What are those power hoses called? The yellow ones. What's that brand? You know.
Oh, man. Yeah. People doing their driveways with.
Kershaw jet washer.
A Kershaw.
Have you got a Kershaw that I can wash your pigs with? With pig? Does the Kershaw have pig setting? The best top of the range one has 20 settings, doesn't it? Like decking, car, lime scale, tiles. The best one have a setting that says pig?
And please, Lewis, get them all nice and mucky before we get there. So there's lots to wash. So, that's our own personal experiences of pigs. We're going to begin by looking at the Wikipedia page for pigs, because I think that feels like the best place to start. First, immediately, there's a sound file on the Wikipedia page, and it just says, a pig oinking. Shall we play that and have a listen? Fucking hell! I wasn't expecting that. Let's have that again. Jesus Christ. Once more.
What are you looking at?
It's the pig Wikipedia page, and this is a sound file of a. It says on the Wikipedia page a pig oinking, but then the sound file itself is entitled pig grunt. Listen to this.
I've never heard a pig make a noise like that before, if I'm honest.
Fucking hell. So that's taking a bit of a downturn. There's a picture of a pig's skull, which is a bit unsettling. There's a picture of a pig's skeleton, and it makes it look like a dog, really. There's a picture of the bones of the pigfoot. There's a picture of some pottery swine from the Shang dynasty, and there's a bronze pig sculpture from the Zhou dynasty. But I don't think we'll get onto them. What is a pig? The pig, Sus domesticus, to give it its Latin name, is often called swine, hog, or domestic pig when distinguishing from other members of the genus Sus. Now, what is the genus Sus? What else have we got in there? Domestic pigs, wild boars, and that pretty much seems to be it. Let's not go down that road then. The pig's head plus body length ranges from 0.9 to 1.8 metres, 3 to 6 feet. Adult pigs typically weigh between 50 and 350 kilograms, with well-fed individuals even exceeding this range. Now, a well-fed individual in this case would wear a top hat and would have a monocle, and I imagine would also wear like a waistcoat. That's your well-fed pig, I think.
That's the best sort of pig, yeah. Posh pig.
Yeah. I was going to say the pig from the No That's What I Call Music early albums, but that wasn't that just wore headphones, didn't it?
He had a mohawk and a leather biker jacket.
That was a quite a fit pig, because it obviously used to dance around a lot to the music on the Now albums.
He was pretty cool. And I have to tell you, Andy, I'm almost certain that we've sort of not done an official deep dive, but we have spontaneously deep dived that pig in the dim distant past. I can't remember what we discovered, but we got very into him for a while. We found out what his name was and watched numerous ads that featured him on TV. We
voiced by Brian Glover.
We found out a huge amount about that pig, and now I've forgotten all of it. But of course, he is one of the coolest pigs. I mean, fictional pigs, there's so many to choose from. There's Peppa Pig, there's that pig, and of course, there's all the pigs that you used to get if you were in the NatWest Young Savers Club. Yeah,
that's true. I think they all had names as well.
Yes, the dad one, which was the one you got when you got to peak savings. The whole thing was very Thatcherite. I mean, my advice to kids today is, fuck saving your money. Savings for cunts and Tories. If you've got money, fucking spend it, right? The reason all these fuckers will tell you to save it, right, is because it's a conspiracy. They don't want ordinary folk to have fun. They don't want it. I tell you what they really don't want. They don't want to see normal people, right, in their restaurants or their shops or walking down their street or drinking beer in the pubs they like to drink in, because it makes them feel less than. And these cunts need to feel more than at all times. They're so insecure, they need constant signals that they are doing better and they are above the ordinary man, right, or woman. And if you spend your money, right, then there might be a chance that you're getting to do the same things as them. They don't like that, so they make you feel fearful of spending. Get your money, fucking spend it. Spend your fucking money, and don't let them fucking tempt you with these fucking piggy banks that they're dishing out at NatWest, if they still are. If you got to the top saver, 100 quid probably in those days, they gave you the dad. Do you know what his name was? I'll tell you. Sir Nathaniel Westminster. Now, admittedly, that is a fucking brilliant name. Right?
It's an amazing name, for a pig.
But it's an amazing name, and he was an amazing pig who wore a pinstripe suit and either half-moon spectacles, possibly a monocle. And he was the dad. But he looked like... he literally looked like a member of Mrs. Thatcher's cabinet, right? He may well have been. And but I would say, like, what kind of fucking... What kind of demented fucking child in the middle of the 1980s would have saved up 100 quid? You can't save 100 quid when you're a kid.
Of course you can't. You spend that money, every penny you get.
Buy a fucking Beano. Buy a sherbet dib dab.
Buy a record.
Buy a fucking record.
Buy a new album or something.
You know.
Yeah.
Go and buy a Choose Your Own Adventure book up at W.H. Smith's. And then go next door to Our Price. I mean, of course, you could buy a single in Smith's, but I think it's cooler to buy it in Our Price. Go into Our Price and get Easy Lover by Phil Collins and Philip Bailey on 7-inch.
Yeah. And there you go. There's all your money gone and your life is enhanced.
Yeah, don't go to Toy Cave. That was my local toy shop, by the way. And buy Han Solo in Bespin outfit, which is the outfit he wears in Empire Strikes Back. That costs £1, right? Don't put all these pounds you've got into. Don't go to NatWest. I'd like to deposit £3, please, into my Young Savers account. I'm only £18 away from getting to Nathaniel Westminster. All of my foolish friends are out spending their pennies on pop music, adventure books, and plastic figurines from a space film. Not me. I'm putting mine aside for a rainy day. You little
And
cunt.
once I've got to Nathaniel Westminster, even more of my money will be squirreled away inside his cavernous pig body.
Father says I should always squirrel away my money and that spending is for the weak and foolish.
We'll talk about the rest of the pig family because the mother had an excellent name as well, but we'll start off the next episode of that, I think. That's like a teaser almost, if you like. Fucking hell. So yeah, we'll be back with part 2 of the Pig Odyssey next week. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Oink, oink.